Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm so glad you've taken the time to join me today. Let's take this moment together to talk about something that can truly change the course of your life. You see, life is about growth, becoming more, achieving more, and breaking free from what holds us back. It's about stepping into the person you were always meant to be. But here's the truth. There are a few things that quietly work against us. They don't announce themselves loudly, but they stop us just the same. Today, I want to share with you 4 things you need to stop doing immediately. These are the habits, mindsets, and behaviors that hold us back from the life we're capable of living. They're like weights on your shoulders. Take them off, and you'll be amazed at how far you can go. Let's dive in. 1. Stop doubting yourself. Here's something you need to know. Doubt is the thief of opportunity. It whispers in your ear, you can't do it. You're not good enough. And if you listen long enough, it becomes your truth. But let me ask you, who told you that? Was it you? Was it someone else? And why are you choosing to believe them? Every great achiever started with a seed of doubt. The difference: they didn't let it take root. They moved forward anyway. Think back to a time when you doubted yourself, but you succeeded despite it. Maybe it was something small, or maybe it was something big. Either way, you proved that doubt doesn't define you, your actions do. Remember this: your past doesn't decide your future. The failures, the mistakes, even the people who didn't believe in you, they don't get a vote. You only do. Start today by challenging every doubt. Replace it with belief and act on that belief. 2, stop comparing yourself to others. Here's a truth you've probably heard: comparison is the thief of joy. And it's true. In today's world of social media, it's easier than ever to compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. But let me tell you something, that's not reality. You don't see the struggles they faced. You don't see their doubts or their sleepless nights. All you see is the polished version, and that makes you feel like you're falling behind. But here's the secret: you're not in a race against anyone else. Your journey is uniquely yours. The only person you need to compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Ask yourself, am I getting better? Am I moving forward? If the answer is yes, you're on the right path. And here's the best part: success isn't about getting ahead of others. It's about getting ahead of where you used to be. Focus on that, and you'll find joy, progress, and peace. 3, stop living in the past. Here's a thought: the past is like a rear view mirror. It's there to glance at, not to live in. Yet so many people carry the weight of regret, pain, and mistakes like a heavy suitcase. And that suitcase, it slows you down. The truth is, you can't change the past, but you can change how you think about it. Forgive yourself for the mistakes. Forgive others for the pain they've caused. Not for their sake, but for yours. Forgiveness isn't about erasing what happened. It's about lightening your load. When you let go of the past, you free yourself to step boldly into the future. And remember this: your best days are ahead of you. The only way to reach them is to stop looking back. 4, stop procrastinating on your goals now. This is a big one. You know what keeps most people from achieving their dreams? It's not talent. It's not opportunity. It's procrastination. Procrastination says, I'll do it later. I'll wait for the right time. But let me tell you, there's no perfect time. Conditions will never be perfect. The stars will never align just right. If you wait for perfection, you'll wait forever. The key is to start where you are with what you have. Take the first step, no matter how small it seems. Because here's the truth: action creates momentum. When you start even imperfectly, you set things in motion. And before you know it, you're on your way. Let me ask you, what's one thing you've been putting off? What's one goal you've been waiting to tackle? Whatever it is, start today. Not tomorrow. Today. Stop doubting yourself. You're stronger than you think. Stop comparing yourself to others. Your journey is yours alone. Stop living in the past. Your future is waiting for you. Stop procrastinating. The time to start is now. Take these 4 steps and you'll see changes not just in your results, but in how you feel about yourself and your life. You have everything it takes to create a life you're proud of. The question is, will you take the first step? Stop doubting yourself. Let's talk about what that really means, because it's a statement that's easy to say but hard to live by. Doubt is a quiet force, one that creeps into your thoughts when you least expect it. It tells you to play small, to hesitate, to avoid taking risks. It disguises itself as caution or practicality, but let's call it what it really is: a thief. Doubt steals your potential, your opportunities, and your dreams if you let it. But here's the good news: you don't have to let it. Doubt often comes from years of conditioning. If somewhere along the way you may have picked up the belief that you're not capable, not smart enough, not talented enough, or not worthy. Maybe someone said something to you in passing and it stuck. Or maybe you've told yourself a story over and over that you're not the kind of person who achieves great things. Whatever the source, the result is the same. Doubt has become a habit. And like any habit, it can be broken. The first step to overcoming self-doubt is recognizing it for what it is. Doubt is not reality, it's a perspective. It's a lens through which you view yourself. And that lens is often distorted. When doubt tells you you're not good enough, it's not speaking the truth, it's projecting fear. When it says, what if I fail? It's trying to keep you safe by avoiding risk. But here's the thing, success and safety rarely go hand in hand. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, you have to be willing to step outside the comfort zone where doubt resides. Let me share a simple truth. No one is immune to self-doubt. The most successful people you admire, whether they're athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, or leaders, have all faced moments where they question themselves. They've all felt that voice in the back of their mind whispering, can I really do this? The difference is they didn't let that voice control them. They acknowledged the doubt, faced it head on, and took action anyway. Think about this. Have you ever accomplished something you initially thought you couldn't do? Maybe it was a tough exam, a new job, a personal challenge, or even a conversation you were nervous about. At some point, doubt probably whispered, you're not ready for this, but you did it anyway, didn't you? And when you succeeded, how did that feel? It felt incredible. It felt like proof that you're capable of more than you give yourself credit for. That's the key to defeating doubt, reminding yourself of what you've already overcome. Your track record is stronger than you think. Every time you've doubted yourself and moved forward anyway, you've built a foundation of resilience. That resilience is your greatest weapon against doubt. And the next time that voice says, what if I fail? Respond with, what if I succeed? When it says, I'm not good enough, remind yourself, I've done hard things before and I can do them again. One of the most effective ways to silence self-doubt is through action. Action is the antidote to fear, hesitation, and uncertainty. You don't think of doubt as a shadow. It only exists when you stand still. The moment you move, the shadow shifts and fades. Each step you take, no matter how small, builds momentum. And momentum is powerful. It creates confidence, clarity, and courage. Here's an example. Imagine you want to start a business, but you're paralyzed by doubt. You keep thinking, what if I fail? What if no one supports me? What if I'm not cut out for this? Those thoughts are enough to keep anyone stuck. But instead of letting them hold you back, you take one small action. You research the industry. You write down a business idea. You talk to someone who's already done what you want to do. Each action chips away at the doubt. And before you know it, you're building momentum. Action doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it rarely is. But it doesn't need to be perfect to be effective. What matters is that you're moving forward, proving to yourself that you're capable of progress. Progress, no matter how small, is the ultimate confidence booster. Another powerful tool in overcoming self-doubt is changing the way you talk to yourself. Pay attention to the words you use when you think about your abilities, your goals, and your future. Are they words of encouragement or words of limitation? Are you building yourself up or tearing yourself down? Imagine if you spoke to a friend the way you sometimes speak to yourself. If your friend came to you with a dream and you said, you'll never make it, you're not good enough, why even try? How would they feel? Probably devastated. Yet so many of us speak to ourselves this way without even realizing it. It's time to flip the script. Speak to yourself with kindness, encouragements, and belief. When doubt creeps in, respond with affirmations. Instead of saying, I can't do this, say, I'm learning and growing every day. Instead of, I'll probably fail, say, every failure is a stepping stone to success. These small shifts in language can have a big impact on your mindset. Surrounding yourself with the right people is another crucial step in overcoming self-doubt. The people you spend time with influence how you see yourself. If you're surrounded by negativity, criticism, or doubt, it's hard to rise above it. But if you're surrounded by support, encouragement, and positivity, it becomes much easier to believe in yourself. Seek out mentors, friends, and communities that uplift you. Learn from those who have already walked the path you're on. Their stories, experiences, and encouragement can remind you of what's possible. And when you achieve your own success, don't forget to pay it forward. Become the kind of person who inspires belief in others. One final thought, self-doubt will never completely disappear. And that's okay. It's not about eliminating doubt. It's about managing it. Doubt is a natural part of growth because it requires you to step into the unknown. The key is to keep moving forward. Even when doubt is whispering in your ear, you are capable of more than you realize. You've proven it to yourself time and time again. The next time doubt tries to stop you, remember this, your potential is greater than your fear, your resilience is stronger than your hesitation, and your dreams are worth the effort. Take the first step, and then the next. Each step brings you closer to the person you're meant to become. Stop doubting yourself. Start believing in your ability to create the life you want. The world is waiting for what only you can offer. Now is the time to step into your potential and show yourself what you're truly capable of. Stop comparing yourself to others. It sounds simple, doesn't it? Yet, in a world where we are constantly surrounded by curated snapshots of other people's lives, it's become one of the hardest habits to break. Comparison is a natural human tendency, but when left unchecked, it becomes a destructive force. It chips away at your confidence, steals your joy, and blinds you to your own unique journey. Think about it. How often do you find yourself scrolling through social media, looking at someone else's success, their seemingly perfect life, their accomplishments, their relationships, or their material possessions? It's easy to start thinking, why am I not there yet? Why can't I have what they have? These thoughts can spiral quickly, leaving you feeling like you're falling behind or that you'll never measure up. But here's the truth. Comparison is the thief of joy. It's not just a catchy phrase, it's a reality. Every moment you spend comparing yourself to someone else is a moment you take away from appreciating your own growth, your own progress, and your own potential. The problem with comparison is that it's rarely a fair fight. When you compare yourself to others, you're often measuring your behind-the-scenes struggles against their highlight reel. You see their victories, but you don't see the hard work, the failures, and the sacrifices it took to get there. You see the shiny surface, but not the cracks beneath it. Social media in particular amplifies this problem. It's a platform where people showcase the best moments of their lives while leaving the struggles and challenges out of sight. But the truth is, everyone has challenges. No one's life is as perfect as it appears online. Imagine this for a moment. You're running your own race, but instead of focusing on your lane, you keep looking to the left and right to see what everyone else is doing. What happens? You lose your rhythm, you stumble, you start doubting whether you're even on the right track. That's what comparison does. It distracts you from your journey. It keeps you from running your race with focus and purpose. The reality is your journey is unique. Your path is meant to look different from anyone else's. No one else has lived your life, faced your challenges, or had your exact set of experiences. That's what makes your story valuable. When you compare yourself to others, you're ignoring the fact that you are on your own timeline. Just because someone else achieved something before you doesn't mean you're behind. Success isn't a race, it's a personal journey, and everyone's pace is different. Let's reframe this. Instead of comparing yourself to others, start comparing yourself to who you were yesterday. Ask yourself, am I growing? Am I improving? Am I moving in the direction of my goals? That's the only comparison that truly matters. The only person you should be competing with is the version of yourself from the day before. If you're making progress, no matter how small, you're winning. And that's something to celebrate. Here's another truth. Comparison often stems from a place of insecurity. When we feel unsure of our own abilities, we look to others as a benchmark for success. But the key to overcoming this isn't to focus on what others are doing, it's to focus on building your own confidence. Your confidence comes from action, from setting goals and achieving them, from recognizing your own worth and potential. The more you invest in yourself, the less you'll feel the need to compare. Instead of asking, why don't I have what they have? Start asking, what can I do today to move closer to my goals? Redirecting your energy toward your own growth is one of the most empowering things you can do. It's also important to remember that comparison can sometimes come from a lack of gratitude. When you're focused on what others have, it's easy to overlook what you already have. Take a moment to reflect on your life. What are you grateful for? What have you accomplished so far? What strengths do you bring to the table? Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already possess. And when you focus on your blessings, you create a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. Another thing to consider is that comparison often comes with assumptions. You see someone with a successful career and you assume their life is perfect. You see someone in a happy relationship and you assume they never have problems. But you don't know their full story. You don't know the struggles they've faced, the sacrifices they've made, or the battles they're fighting behind closed doors. Everyone has their own challenges, even if they're not visible to the outside world. When you compare yourself to others, you're comparing your reality to an illusion. And that's a game you can never win. Instead of seeing others as competition, try seeing them as inspiration. Let their success remind you of what's possible. If they can do it, so can you. Use their achievements as motivation to keep pushing forward on your own path. But remember, their journey is theirs and yours is yours. Celebrate their wins without letting it diminish your own. Surrounding yourself with the right people can also make a big difference. If you're constantly around people who make you feel small or inadequate, it's time to reevaluate those relationships. Seek out individuals who uplift you, who celebrate your progress, and who remind you of your potential. The right people will inspire you to be better without making you feel like you're not enough. It's also worth mentioning that sometimes we compare ourselves to an unrealistic version of what we think we should be. Maybe you have a picture in your mind of what your life is supposed to look like by now, and you feel like you're falling short. But whose timeline are you following? Whose standards are you trying to meet? Life doesn't come with a rule book that says you have to achieve certain milestones by a certain age. The only expectations that matter are the ones you set for yourself. Let me leave you with this. The next time you catch yourself comparing, pause and reflect. Ask yourself, what am I gaining from this thought? Is it helping me grow or is it holding me back? Most of the time, comparison doesn't serve you. It only distracts you. So let it go. Focus on your own journey, your own growth, and your own potential. You have everything you need to succeed, but you'll never realize it if you're too busy looking at what others have. The truth is, the world needs what only you can offer. Your unique talents, experiences, and perspective are greatest assets. You don't waste them trying to fit into someone else's mold. Embrace your journey. Celebrate your progress and keep moving forward. Remember, the only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. That's the true measure of success. Keep your eyes on your path and watch what happens when you focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Living in the past is one of the most common ways people hold themselves back. It's not always intentional, but the weight of regrets, painful memories, or missed opportunities can linger and become a heavy burden. Imagine carrying a suitcase filled with rocks everywhere you go. It's exhausting, right? That's exactly what living in the past feels like. It drains your energy, clouds your vision, and makes it nearly impossible to move forward. The truth is, as long as you're stuck in the past, you're robbing yourself of the present and the future. It's important to acknowledge that the past is a part of who you are. Your experiences, both good and bad, have shaped you into the person you are today. But there's a difference between learning from the past and being trapped by it. When you dwell on what happened, whether it's a mistake you made, an opportunity you missed, or a painful experience, it keeps you anchored in a place you no longer belong. The past is like a chapter in a book. It's meant to be read, understood, and turned. You can't keep rereading the same chapter and expect the story to progress. Often the reason people hold on to the past is because of unresolved emotions. Regret, guilt, anger, or sadness can feel like chains that tie you to a specific moment in time. Maybe you regret not taking the chance when you had it. Maybe you're angry about how someone treated you. Maybe you're stuck replaying a failure that shook your confidence. Whatever it is, those emotions are valid, but they don't have to define you. They don't have to dictate your future. The first step to breaking free from the past is to confront those feelings head on. Acknowledge them, process them, and then make the conscious decision to let them go. It's not easy, but it's necessary. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean pretending that what happened didn't matter. Letting go is about freeing yourself from the power the past holds over you. It's about saying, yes, this happened, but it doesn't control me anymore. It's about choosing to focus on what you can do today rather than what you wish you could change about yesterday. The past is unchangeable, no matter how much you dwell on it. But the present is full of possibility, and the future is waiting for you to create it. One of the biggest traps of living in the past is the habit of replaying what-if scenarios. What if I had made a different choice? What if I had taken that opportunity? What if I hadn't made that mistake? While it's natural to wonder about alternate outcomes, dwelling on what-ifs only fuels regret. It's a form of mental self-torture that keeps you stuck in a loop of second-guessing. Instead of focusing on what could have been, shift your attention to what can still be. The decisions you make today are what shape your tomorrow. Every moment is an opportunity to write a new chapter, to create a new possibility, to start fresh. Forgiveness is another critical part of moving on from the past. This includes forgiving others and, just as importantly, forgiving yourself. Maybe someone hurt you deeply, and you've been carrying that pain for years. Or maybe you made a mistake that you can't seem to forgive yourself for. Holding on to resentment, whether it's directed at someone else or yourself, only prolongs your suffering. Forgiveness isn't about excusing bad behavior or condoning what happened. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional weight that keeps you stuck. It's about choosing peace over bitterness. Forgiveness doesn't mean you forget. It means you prioritize your well-being over the need to hold on to the pain. Sometimes people live in the past because they romanticize it. Maybe there was a time in your life when everything seemed perfect, when you were happier, more successful, or more fulfilled. It's easy to look back on those moments with rose-colored glasses and wish you could go back. But the danger of romanticizing the past is that it blinds you to the opportunities in the present. Life is constantly changing, and every stage brings new possibilities. By clinging to an idealized version of the past, you risk missing out on the beauty and potential of where you are right now. Another way the past can hold you back is through fear. Maybe you've experienced failure or rejection, and now you're afraid to try again. You think, what if history repeats itself? What if I fail again? But fear based on past experiences is just a projection. It's not reality. The fact that something didn't work out before doesn't mean it won't work out now. Every day is a new opportunity to grow, to learn, and to try again with the wisdom you've gained from past experiences. You don't let fear of the past dictate your future. Use the lessons you've learned to build something better. It's also important to recognize that living in the past often stems from a lack of clarity about the future. When you don't have a clear vision for where you're going, it's easy to get stuck looking backward. That's why it's so important to set goals, to dream big, and to take steps toward the life you want. When you have something to work toward, your focus naturally shifts from the past to the future. You start to see the possibilities instead of the limitations. You start to feel excitement instead of regret. Having a sense of purpose is one of the most powerful antidotes to living in the past. Gratitude is another tool that can help you break free from the past. When you focus on what you're grateful for in the present, it shifts your perspective. It reminds you of all the good things in your life right now, rather than what you've lost or missed out on. Gratitude grounds you in the present moment and helps you see that there's so much to appreciate, even if things aren't perfect. Start each day by reflecting on a few things you're grateful for and notice how it changes your outlook. Ultimately, moving on from the past is about reclaiming your power. As long as you're living in the past, you're giving it control over your life. But you have the power to take that control back. You have the power to decide how you respond to your past, how you use it to grow, and how you move forward. You are not defined by your mistakes, your failures, or your pain. You are defined by what you do next, by the steps you take to create the life you want. The past is a teacher, not a prison. It's there to provide lessons, not to keep you locked in place. Take what you've learned, let go of what no longer serves you, and step boldly into the present. This moment is all you have, and it's full of possibility. Don't waste it looking backward. The best chapters of your life are still ahead, but you'll never get to them if you keep rereading the old ones. It's time to turn the page and move forward with courage, gratitude, and hope. Procrastination is one of the most insidious habits that can hold you back from achieving your dreams. It's that subtle, often silent thief of time that convinces you there's always tomorrow, always a better moment, or always more time. Yet the truth is, time waits for no one. Every day that you put off taking action is a day lost, a day that could have brought you closer to your goals. Procrastination doesn't just delay progress, it creates a mental barrier between you and your potential. Overcoming it is essential if you want to move forward and create the life you've always envisioned. Many people procrastinate because they're waiting for the perfect time to start. They think that once they have more money, more knowledge, or more confidence, then they'll begin. But the reality is, there's no such thing as a perfect time. Conditions will never align perfectly, and waiting for the stars to magically fall into place is a recipe for inaction. Life is messy, unpredictable, and full of challenges, and that's okay. The most successful people didn't wait for the perfect time. They started where they were with what they had and figured things out along the way. The first step to overcoming procrastination is recognizing the reasons behind it. For many, procrastination stems from fear. Fear of failure, fear of making mistakes, or even fear of success can paralyze you into inaction. The what if start to creep in. What if I try and fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if people judge me? These fears create a mental roadblock that can feel impossible to overcome. But the key to moving forward is understanding that fear is normal. Everyone experiences it. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they respond to fear. Instead of letting it stop you, you have to take action despite it. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to act in the face of it. Another common cause of procrastination is perfectionism. When you hold yourself to impossibly high standards, it's easy to get stuck in a cycle of overthinking and second guessing. You might think, if I can't do it perfectly, why bother at all? But perfectionism is a trap. It sets an unrealistic bar that no one can reach, and it often leads to paralysis. The truth is, done is better than perfect. Progress, no matter how small, is better than standing still. Taking imperfect action is still action and moves you closer to your goals. Remember, you can always improve as you go. The most important thing is to start. Procrastination also thrives on distractions. In today's world, it's easier than ever to get sidetracked. Social media, streaming services, endless notifications, these distractions are constantly competing for your attention. Before you know it, hours or even days can slip away without any meaningful progress toward your goals. Breaking free from procrastination requires discipline and focus. It's about being intentional with your time and making conscious choices about where you direct your energy. Start by identifying your biggest distractions and creating an environment that minimizes them. Set boundaries, turn off notifications, and create a workspace that fosters productivity. When you eliminate distractions, you create the space needed to focus on what truly matters. One of the most powerful ways to combat procrastination is to break your goals into smaller, manageable steps. Often the reason people procrastinate is because their goals feel overwhelming. If your dream feels too big or too far away, it's easy to put it off until later. But by breaking it down into smaller tasks, you make it more approachable. Each small step you take builds momentum and gives you a sense of accomplishment. Instead of focusing on the entire journey, focus on the next step. Ask yourself, what's one thing I can do today to move closer to my goal? Then do it. Small actions taken consistently lead to big results. Another important aspect of overcoming procrastination is accountability. When you keep your goals to yourself, it's easy to make excuses or push them aside. But when you share your goals with someone else, whether it's a friend, family member, mentor, or coach, you create a sense of responsibility. And knowing that someone else is aware of your goals and rooting for your success can motivate you to take action. You don't want to let them down, and more importantly, you don't want to let yourself down. Accountability adds an extra layer of commitment that can keep you moving forward even when it feels challenging. It's also crucial to understand the power of habits. Procrastination often becomes a habit, a default response to challenges or tasks that feel uncomfortable. The good news is, just as procrastination can become a habit, so can productivity. By consistently taking small, intentional actions, you can rewire your brain and create new habits that support your goals. Start by building a routine that prioritizes your most important tasks. Set aside dedicated time each day to work on your goals, even if it's just 15 or 30 minutes. Over time, this consistency will become second nature, and you'll find it easier to take action without hesitation. Procrastination isn't just about time management, it's also about mindset. Often people procrastinate because they focus on the difficulty of the task rather than the rewards of completing it. They think about how hard it will be, how long it will take, or how much effort it will require. But what if you shifted your perspective? Instead of focusing on the challenges, focus on the benefits. Think about how achieving your goal will improve your life. Visualize the sense of pride, accomplishment, and joy you'll feel when you've succeeded. When you focus on the rewards, you'll find it easier to push through the discomfort and take action. It's important to remember that procrastination doesn't define you. It's a behavior, not an identity. Just because you've procrastinated in the past doesn't mean you're destined to do so forever. Every moment is an opportunity to make a new choice. You have the power to change your habits, shift your mindset, and take control of your time. You don't let past procrastination weigh you down or make you feel like you're incapable of change. You are capable of so much more than you realize. And the first step to unlocking that potential is deciding to take action right now, not tomorrow. One of the greatest rewards of overcoming procrastination is the sense of empowerment it brings. When you stop putting things off and start taking action, you prove to yourself that you're capable. Each small victory builds your confidence and strengthens your belief in your abilities. Over time, this creates a positive cycle of action and achievement. The more you accomplish, the more motivated you become to keep going. Before you know it, you'll look back and realize how far you've come all because you made the decision to stop procrastinating and start moving forward. Procrastination might feel comfortable in the moment, but it comes with a heavy cost. It robs you of time, progress, and the fulfillment that comes from pursuing your dreams. You don't let procrastination steal any more of your life. The time to start is now. Even if you don't feel ready, even if you're scared, even if you don't have all the answers, start anyway. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates results. Your dreams are worth it. Your future is worth it. And most importantly, you are worth it. Take that first step today and keep moving forward, one action at a time. Remember, every step you take today brings you closer to the life you've always imagined. Don't let fear, doubt, or procrastination hold you back any longer. You have the power, the strength, and the ability to create a future that inspires you. Start now, stay focused, and never stop believing in yourself. Your journey to greatness begins with the actions you take today, so go out there and make it happen. Stay motivated, stay relentless, and keep moving forward. You've got this.